Your Excellency, thank you for inviting those little ones. They were here by 7 o'clock, all waiting for you. Era ne mama tumwebaza yabawadde ekyenkya eky'amaanyi era bali bulungi. Your Excellency, that's a very prestigious moment for them. That is a lovely moment. Ekifaananyi ekyo kikulu gye bali. Bannange buli abawaddeyo Mukama agenda bbawa omukisa. Mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala. Once again mama era tukwebaza ne olwa bannaffe be tukolagana nabo nga mwami Sewava waliwo Haja Bibu bonna batuyambye nnyo mu mikolo gino. Simanyi ka tufuneyo oluyimba. DJ tuweyo oluyimba abaana abo mbakubire mu ngalo. Mama nsaba kwebaza mama. Nsaba mama okwebaza okuyita abaana abo kubanga they have caught the attention of the president. Ategedde nti ne mu kanisa mama tutendeka abaana okuba abawombefu abawulize ate abagoberera Kristo Yesu. DJ nakusabye akayimba nga bwe tumaliriza ebirabo bino. Akayimba akasenenkerevu. Ennyimba ezaffe ez'Abadventi. Mulindeko katuulize bali. Tugenda kujja. Katuweze oluyimba olwetendereza Mukama. Abo bagenda kuyimba. Abaana bayimbe. Babatendereza Mukama. Twagala luyimba lwetendereza Mukama. Kansabe DJ Honorable asabye abaana mubaleete wano mu maaso bayimbirire wano mu maaso. Kati bannayikamba sabe mu creating ekkubo abaana bayitewo mangu. Kaakati kansabe omusumba abaana nga bwe bajja yeebalize ebirabo ekkanisa ebeere ng'ekomyawo tugende mu maaso. Abaana basembere.
Banaye katusabe. Saba fwenge kanisa ebyaffe bikome wano tugende mu speeches endala. Tweyanziza nnyo abatuwadde ebirabo abatuzimbiddeko Mukama abawe omukisa katusabe. Kitaffe atagwawo tukwebaza kubanga okozesezza abaddu bo n'abazaana bo okubeerako okwebaza kwe bakola nga bayambako omuzaana Honorable Mire Babalanda. Era tusaba empisa eno etubeeremu ng'abantu bo boolabirira era boogabirira. Byonna bikoleddwa ku lw'ekitiibwa kyo, tusaba ozimbulukuse ekirabo ekyo okukolera ddala omulimu gwo naddala ogw'okuzimba. Ekitiibwa n'ettendo bikuddire, tusaba Katonda waffe puroguramu zonna wabulewo ekikyankalanya kyonna, obukuumi bwe okwagala kwe bibeere gye tuli ku bwa Yesu Kristo Mukama waffe. Amiina. Mukama abawe omukisa.
Webale ino church nga bale baida twongera okwaniriza baba ife His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda era mpegano omugeni omukulu ku mukolo guno n'okwaniza abageni boona abaide ku mukolo kuno kubayi kusaba kwandalo nti abaana bano bembe mu maiso ga President nga babona ku babaire galere katwaye dakikandala bembeku ayenga naba quick view bona beteekateeka okuboneka nti babaku ni n'olwemba lwebembera President quick view nkakasa aba quick view bona muli ready muide. That's quick view primary school. Mwebale. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Mujeye President wale mutambule mangu nga quick view yona dark stage
Yeja oba yeno.
the church which brought them.
You have to inform us the program we have. They're not on our program. Then we cannot.
So the church is the one that brought the other
It's
program.
the church. This one's on the program.
This one is on the program.
Pegano. You know, the other one is the church which brought, not me. Mu kiseera kino tulikuteekateeka chairman wa NRM Buyende district Honawe Magogo aidhe ayaniriza omukulembeze waife w'eggwanga Honawe Magogo. DJ olw'embaawo leeta NRM chairman wa Buyende district. DJ Aja Gwenge Myakazindaalo ni chairman wa NRM Buyende district Honawe engineer Magogo sebo yaniriza omugeni waife.
Bana musoke muongere mu mulalo tubone oba tuliwo. DJ Soko twongere olwembo olwo. Twaniriza president bulungi Buyende. Abadio pe banange twaniriza president banange. Kale DJ Soke tukomaawo olw'ebiseera tujje mu maiso. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, ba Cabinet Minister wali wano mwena, ababaka ba Parliament, abakulembeze mu kibiina kya NRM mu bitu byammwe eby'endawulo, obwakyabazinga bwa Busoga, abakulembeze mwena, ayo okusingira yala abantu ab'e Buyende, abantu ab'e Busoga, bana mwebale ino, mwebale yala kwida, nga tulikwaniriza omukulembeze waife. Nenda kutandika olw'ekiseera ekitono kye tulina nsooke nandule ba chairman ba district aba movement abali wano olwaleero. Chairman wa Kayunga district Mwami Kalangu aliwo mu speed ey'amangu owubire ku abantu. Chairman wa Bugweri district Mwami Nkutu Shabani yena aliwo wubira ku abantu mu speed. Chairman wa Kaliro Mwami Nelson yena aliwo yemerera ku owubira abantu mu speed eya waigulu. Chairman wa Jinja City Mwami Rufafa yena aliwo mumuwubire ku. Chairman wa Kamuli Mwami Bazanya Matthew yena aliwo yemerera ku owubira abantu webale kwida Buyende. Chairman wa Jinja district Mwami Batwala yena aliwo. Bwabanga aliwo chairman gwentayogere banange ikirizo olw'ekiseera tweyongereyo mu maiso. Ayera mu kiseera n'ekirala eri ababakawo eri abawogeireku ba member ba parliament abaliwo n'abaaliku Honorable Muzaale Martin wanitambwire kuwaida mu maiso owubire ku omukulembeze mangu ng'omuzaani w'omupiira bwaba. Honorable Nakato Mary okuva e Buyende wena owubire ku omukulembeze akubone ku maiso. Honorable Isa Bireidi nga ni chairman wa Caucus FNR Mbusoga wena yangu waku. Honorable Naigaga okuva enamutumba wena gezaku obite mu bwangu. Honorable Akamba wegaito okwo. Honorable Serwanyi Mama Busia. Honorable Auma Helen. Honorable Sanuni Bwire wena otyo. Nekiseera n'ekirala mama wange Honorable Kadogo babire wena wubira ku abantu ng'ate oli mubaka wa East Africa. Nenda okwaniriza Honorable Migereko waire bamwogeire ku yena yali mubaka okuva mu kitundu kino. Ate era Honorable Lubowa yena aliwo. Honorable Sulaiman Kirunda yena aliwo. Gwentayogeire ku ikirizo olw'ebiseera mbenga nsobola okuhona Migereko owubire ku omukulembeze akubone ku. Honorable Milton Muma wena otyo omalirize. Bana babawo mbakaliwo ngeri natilifunye oida kunsoniwa mbatilifunye bufunye zira kuendeseyo nga mubakate ngaliwo. Your Excellency nemereire wano nga chairman wa movement owa district ya Ifene ya Buyende. President otukulembeire bulungi okumala ibanga era obaire mukulembeze omugezi n'ababuuliza ababeire wano bakobye ati aba Katonda nambisa mu bantu nze nandikiriza nti Katonda nakubisizaamu okuba nga otukulembeire bulungi ng'eiwanga lya Uganda. Abakulembeze obaire babonera irala abakoze obulungi mu kibiina kyaife kya NRM wabongera emberi baminisita baife abateme wano nsuubira nti wababona nga bakoleire ekibiina n'ensonga lwaki olwaleero bali wano mu maiso balikola niiwe okutambuza gavumenti ya NRM. Your Excellency district ya Buyende, district eya Kaliro, ni district eye Namutumba, ni district eda singa okola obulungi mu kalulu akaawa mu Busoga muno. Era nenda abadyope abalamuja abe Kaliro n'abe Namutumba twekubire ku mungalo kuba President waife neye wangula mu district edo eisatu mu district da Busoga bwena. President nenda okukakasa nti ekyaliwo omulundi ogwo wabona nti ababaka ba NRM babiseemu aye nga President talikola bulungi mu district eyo. Ku mulundi guno oyongairemu empaji ed'amaanyi mwende ba chairman ba movement bali wano ku lw'ekibiina nenda kukakasa nti ekifaananyi ekyo kijja kukyuka Busogaireyo kuki kyerina okuba tujakolera walala NRM tugiwa ekitiibwa kyayo kyeyetaaga mu Busoga. President ensonga eddimu ku nsonga edibaire ditutabula edisinga obungi ogire ng'odigemaku waire wakaali yeditusomooza. Ensonga y'ebikaado ogikozeeku olw'eiteeka eryakoleibwa era nenda okwebaza n'ababaka ba paalamenti abali wano bonabona nti banamwebale olw'eiteeka lino ensonga eno ejja kulungamizibwa tube nga tusobola okujja mu maiso era betusomooza mu biseera ebikwiraku ebyokulonda. N'ensonga eyo nenda kukakasa President nti tujakola ino ng'aba NRM mu kitundu kino tubone nti buli kifo kyona kyona ekyokulonda ekiri mu Busoga muno nga kyesimbibwawo abantu basalawo mu kalulu tukitayireko omuntu nga yesimbyewo ate omuntu oyo awangule tukuweereza ababaka abanaasobola okutwala mu maiso manifesto ya NRM waire ku district waire mu kanso ni mu paalamenti n'ebifo byona byona. Your Excellency ensonga eyindi ebaire esomooza ebaire ya byennanda na nvuba nenda okukakasa nti tiimu gye waleeta ku luno wabairewo okwenkyukakyuka mu bintu ebibaire birikolebwa. Lieutenant Joan akoze bulungi ni tiimu ye okuba nti atyama n'abantu twaba nga tulikolera walala okuleeta ebiteeso engeri gye tutobola okutambuzaamu n'okugondoola ensonga eyo. Era banaife abavubi ab'ekibiina kya Victoria balina ekirabo mu dakiika 2 nga bwenkayogera batambule baide mu maiso bakulage ekirabo kyabwe kye bakuleeteire olw'okuba nti ensonga eno y'envuba bagigemye bulungi. Aba Victoria twanguweku ebiseera tibiri nniife. Nenda kujja ku nsonga ey'okwebaza era nti abantu ab'e abantu ab'e Busoga bwe mba nfunye omuzindalo ndi guno tisobola asubwa mukisa guno gwakubasaba nti muneebalize ku President wa Uganda. Nze ng'omuntu kubanga mpagiire mukidi bulungi niza kulembera omuzaano gw'omupiira mu Uganda era agutambuiza obulungi. Ayo baire buwagizi bwa President bubaire buwagizi bwa Mama Janet Kataha Museveni minisita wange nti olwaleero ebyamagero bye tuli kukola abadiopenimu abali bikola kuba mwana waimwe naakulembeire aye nga President wa Uganda nangemeireku okujja mu maiso ebyafaayo bye tulikola olwaleero. Aba Victoria ekiseera kyaimwe kiri kubitayo olw'ekirabo kye mulina okuleeta. Choga Boat Owners and Fishmongers Association. Your Excellency balina ekirabo kye bakuleeteire olw'okwebaza olw'enkyukakyuka ebairewo mu ngeme y'ensonga eno ebaire etusoomooza. Abakyoga tulwirewo ebiseera ti bingi ku saidi yaife omukisa gujja kutubitako. Mwanguweku bali kwenda kulaga nti amateeka n'endowooza gye watuwa ey'envuba embi nti etulemesa okufuna eby'ennanda ebyegasa, benda kulaga nti ekiteeso kyo n'endowooza yo ey'okulwanyisa envuba embi tutandiise okuwona ebibala ebisobola okuva mu kuvuba okulungi. Bananga abaddeyo petukubireku abavubi baife abavuba obulungi mu nvuba ey'amateeka Kyoga Boat Owners and Fish Mongers Association. Tubongere mu kwenduulu nga baligemesa omukulembeze ow'eiwanga ekirabo kye ekiri kulaga nti bwe tugoberera ebiteeso bye tusobola okuvuba ate era twaganulwamu mu nnanda yaife nga tuzigimazeemu bugayiga bwerimu. Banange twongeremu kwenduulu awo. NRM juu. Mwebale nno mwebale yala. Your Excellency tujja kuswika awo okutolaku okwebaza nti weebale kukolera wala nife, weebale tugayitanga ekibiina, oyongeiremu buli bazimba ekizimbe mubaamu empagi de bongeramu, oyongeiremu empagi empyaka abakulembeze abayaka mu NRM okutandikira yala okuva mu district okuva mu byalo ni waigulu. Ndi kukakasa nti tujja kukolera wala ekitibwa kya NRM mu Busoga muno kireyo kyali. Weebale eno weebale ddala kulwa Katonda n'eiwanga lyange.
Weebale eno chairman. Weebale eno chairman. Chairman ayogerere nga tufunye abatwegayiseeku nga tulina Honorable Barnabas Tinkasimire tulinayo wano, Honorable Auma Helen tulinayo wano, Chairman NRM Namutumba Gusongwere tulinayo wano, twaba ni of course host RDC era tulinayo wano, twaba ni Mwami Gabula Ezera Chairman LC5 Iganga tulinayo wano, Hajat Chimbowa Farida tulinayo wano akulira abakyala, General Isoke tulinayo wano akulira ebikwekweto ebyobulyake. Musaawa eno tudakweta abawala abaviire wano batuweka entertainment nga tuteekateeka omugalo waife okwidda okwogera ye tuli. Vic View eide nga tuteekateeka omugole waife Mama Mire Babalanda okwidda okwogera ye tuli. Vic View baliwa? Vic View. Era awo ni Right Honorable Nakadama yena tulinayo wano, Third Prime Minister tusangaire okubona nyabo. Vic View, be brief. Abaana ba Vic View ku stage olwemba lwabwe. DJ, be brief, be quick. CD. They don't have CD. Buy the one. Let they come here. Let they come here. Buy the one. Your one on it.
Check.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni Buhabura, we welcome you in Buyende saying, Teli Bukulu Butaveri Katonda. Long live Your Excellency, a smiling driver who is tried and trusted. Today, as we give thanks to the Lord, we also give thanks to the President of the Republic of Uganda. Bravo, Your Excellency, the President of Uganda, for eliminating poverty in the people of Uganda, improving access to health services, providing knowledge and skills to people affected by HIV/AIDS. Let's all start playing it smart, saying stop it, end it now. We are happy. We are because you are. Our rights have been fully protected. Because of UPE we are. Because of USE we are in schools up to today. We are fully immunized. A symbol of good health. Health centers in every sub-county. Freedom of speech due to peace and security. Maintenance of discipline and rule of law. Credit goes to law and order. Democracy. Stabilizing the region. Regional transformation. Poverty alleviation through PDM. Parish development model. Affected by HIV. Involved in PDM. Economic development in every region. Infrastructure development. Small-scale commercial production overcoming poverty. The Youth Livelihood Program has made significant achievements across the country. Sensitizing youth livelihood and wealth creation. Thanks for skilling youths. Thank you for helping the poor and unemployed youth. Women Empowerment Program has made families healthier. Improved agricultural productivity, hence increasing income generation. Gender has been involved in mitigation, and huge advances have been made. Even my grandmother can now hold a cell phone. Scientific innovations have been made. Free urban infrastructure running on. Districts have come up with headquarters built, standing for nationalism with transparency and transformation. Patriotism brings back our culture. Having agriculture at heart, advising us to stop land fragmentation. Pan-Africanism bringing integration. Loving and hosting neighbors in our villages. Piped water running like veins. Boreholes and electricity poles standing like trees. And now fighting corruption on increase. Dada. Olimpango yene. Busoga. Get involved in fighting poverty. Fight early marriages. Embrace girl-child education. Let's play it smart. Stop HIV/AIDS. End it now. Let's put in more efforts in combating HIV/AIDS, especially in teenagers. If positive, seek medical advice. Mama with your pale waist, thanks for bringing life in Buyende. Long live the President of the Republic of Uganda. All regions have benefited, and again, Oriro has already.
Mwebale ino mwebale yala abana baife mudakwiranga n'akaitatementi akandi mu kiseera kino tukwenda mujje baba mwekubye naye ekifaananyi era ekifaananyi ekiriso historical abaana ba Vikview. Thank you very much for that wonderful presentation. Mama nga baana bajere tuli kuteekateeka oithe oyogere kweri abantu ayo akemba ka mama. DJ sewava ita akemba ka mama. DJ Olemba la mama lule.
DJ kuba kayimba ka mama. Watu. DJ. Watu come here. Watu jangweno. Baseba ne banyabo. Nga mama agenda okwogera. Njagala twebaze President waffe Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Bannaffe abalala basiga bukyayi. President waffe asiga kwagala. So twanirize mama Mire Babalanda n'emizira.
Kama nze gwonyambye teri yali akisuubira Mukama onjagadde ositudde ninnyene ddala ompiseza mu muyaga ogutali mutono naye Mukama ombeereddewo. I wanna say thank you, oh God. I wanna say thank you. Mukama nze gwonyambye teri yali akisuubira Mukama onjagadde ositudde ninnyene ddala ompeseza mu muyaga ogutali mutono naye Mukama ombeereddewo.
DJ.
The Right Honorable Third Deputy Prime Minister and Minister without Portfolio, Right Honorable Lukia Isanga Nakadama, Honorable Minister Nabakoba Judith, Minister for Lands, Honorable Minister of State Tourism, Honorable Mgara, Honorable Minister of State, Labor, Employment and Industrial Relations, Honorable Esther Nyakun, Honorable Minister of State, Lands, Housing and Urban Development, Omombe da Passes, Namuganza mbaire mbasaba mwidde ku wano maiso owekitiibwa President ababone kubanga ndi kuboogeraku. Honorable Minister Nyamtoro, ba Minister mwena mwena abali wano tusangaire okubabona, ba Member ba Parliament abali wano mwena mwena, Honorable Isabire Idi, Honorable Muuma Milton, Honorable Mzale Martin, Honorable Magogo Moses, Honorable Nakato Mary, Honorable Naigaga Mariam, Honorable Kamba Paul, Honorable Wandera Helen, Honorable Kadogo Veronique, Honorable Solomon Sirwany, Honorable Wide Sanon, Honorable Namganza Passis, Yoli Minister Ira, Honorable Tinka Simire, Sangairo Kubabona, Mwena Mweno Lwalero. Baba Sabalabirizi wa SDA Church, Baba Omusumba Dr. Moses Ndimuchika, Niba Baba Mwena Mwena Abavire, Mondekirize Dendaulo, tulikubonawo Baba Chikirire Bishop, Baba Chomia, tulikubonawo Baba Munene, tulikubonawo Baba Boa, tulikubonawo Bishop wa Busoga, Mondekirize SDA, Kajura Jime, Baisa ife mwena mwena, mutukoze bulungi awalala ni ba mama, timutambwire mwenka. Head of RDC Secretariat, Major Martha Simwe, ni timu yojo tambwire nayo, nyabo tusangaire okubona. The Fraternity of Resident District and City Commissioners, bwe mukola emirimu emirungi n'owekitiibwa President, Baba balabo ni batabani bo bawoireyo. The newly elected NRM leaders, bwe mukola emirimu emirala ni National Chairman wa NRM Party, Bana mwena mwena tusangaire okubabona. Baba President Owewanga, tusangaire okubona ebiyende. Baba Isentebe wa NRM, niwe otukuziza niwe otulabirire. Tusangaire okubona ebusoga, tusangalire irala, webale kwida ku lunaku lwange, webale ino webalire irala. Tusangaire okubona abageni baife mwena mwena abaidye wano olwaleero. Tusangaire okubona ab'ekika kyange abalwasira, abakene community y'abakene, ba NRM cadres, ba mobilizers, Nantebe ow'ekibiina Chairperson National Women League, Sangairo Kubona, Sangairo kubabona mwena mbiti byaimwe. Speed ni pressure nene, kubanga muli kuneerabiza ebintu kamaala. Aye mu byonna Sangaire okubona ow'ekitiibwa President, nibonabona abaidde okwaniriza, Sangalire era lw'okubona mu kitundu kino. Abantu bano bakuli nnonta, era abantu bano babaire bakulindirira ebbanga lyonna, era nenda okwebaza nti olwaleero osoboire okwida ku mukolo guno. Ow'ekitiibwa President, message yange nabaire ngitegeike mu lulimi Luzungu kubanga TV, radios, dona diri kutubona live, mbaire nkusaba oikirize mu ngeri ey'endawulo nsobola okutuusa message eno nga bweri mu dakiika 2 ndakugiwumbawumba. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Commander-in-Chief of the Uganda People's Defense Forces, National Chairman of the mighty party NRM, our Chief Patriot, our champion in the fight against HIV and AIDS, our hero in the fight of COVID, our freedom fighter, champion of democracy, champion of wealth creation, doctor of international philosophy, and fountain of honor on the African continent, retired General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. You are most welcome to BND. The Right Honorable Rukia Isanga Nakadama, Third Deputy Prime Minister and Minister without Portfolio and Woman Member of Parliament Mayuge, Honorable Minister of State Tourism, Honorable Minister of State Labor, Employment and Industrial Relations, Honorable Minister of State Lands, Housing and Development, Honorable Members of Parliament, the Archbishop of SDA in the entire Uganda and all the clergy present, the head of RDC Secretariat, Major Martha Simwe, the fraternity of resident district commissioners and city commissioners, the newly elected NRM leaders, OC5 chairpersons, National Chairperson Women Council, Obwachabazinga Bwabusoga, distinguished political leaders and civil servants at all levels, Dr. Nelson Msoba and your team, UPPC Executive Director and your team, USPC Executive Director and your team, all the people of God and the communities of Yende, Abeshkachanga, Balwasira, Bakenye community, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, I welcome you to this Thanksgiving here at Iringa Township Primary School in Yende District. I also greet the people and leaders of Yende and appreciate their support for the NRM. I particularly thank the leadership and brethren of the SDA Church for their friendship and standing in fellowship to thank the Lord for my life. Your Excellency, I will straight away go to the point as to why we gather here today. Your Excellency, we gather here today to thank the Almighty God for giving me a second chance to life after going down with a life-threatening sickness and where you intervened to save my life. Bana ndikwebaza Presidenti okuba nti yayingirawo bwe nalumbibwa ekimba eky'amaanyi n'asobola okuwonya obulamu bwange. Era Katonda ne yamukozesa. Ekyo n'ensonga lwaki ndi wano olwaleero. Your Excellency, the Bible teaches us to always be thankful in everything we get or do so, that our Father in heaven can see this and multiply our blessings. buli lwe twebaza Katonda Baba ali mu igulu asiima era yatwongera emikisa kamaala. Your Excellency, sir, I grew up in a humble and religious home. Because of this state of life, I developed a humble and meek character, growing through many hands of God-fearing individuals and persevering along the way. I therefore stand here to appreciate all those whose hands nurtured me, both the living and the departed. If it were not for them, I would not be here counting my blessings before you, sir. However, for the shortness of time, I cannot list all of you here, but bear with me for mentioning your contributions. Ndikwongera okutegeeza abayende nti nakulira mu maka amawombeefu era agatya Katonda era amaka ago naganfiire kyendi era n'okwebaza abo abanteeseteese okubona nti ekiseera ekitono kino kyembayirewo mbusoboire okuba omuntu omuwombeefu kubanga ekyo n'ekikola kyange era omuntu atya Katonda. Your interventions shaped me into someone of substance, namely from an invisible girl to a public figure you admire. Olwokubanga nakulanga ndi muwombeefu era omuntu atya Katonda, ekyo kinambye ino okuba nti mwena musoboire okumbona era mwasobola okuneegomba. I thank God for enabling me to build and maintain my character and for not shaming you this far. Your Excellency and my guests, because of my character and resilience in mobilization, I was given an opportunity to engage in mobilization activities both in Busoga and other parts of Uganda. Olw'ekikula kyange kuba nti nakulibwa nakulanga ndi mukazi muwombeefu ate atya Katonda nasobola okufuna omukisa okuba nti abantu bangi baneetanira okunkozesa mu bintu ebyokukunga abantu mu mobilization wano mu Busoga nenda wa Busoga. For Busoga area, Your Excellency, allow me to thank the Right Honorable Rebecca Alitwala Kadaga, who trusted and engaged me in her political mobilization. Through political engagements and mobilization, I got a chance to meet with His Excellency, the President, who identified me from the many cadres because of my special appeal and commitment and the love I had for my country. Mukiseera n'ekirala nenda okwebaza mukaire waife mu ngeri ey'endawulo Right Honorable Rebecca Alitwala Kadaga eyasobola okunkozesa mu mobilization ya Busoga era ekyansobozesa n'owekitiibwa President okumbona n'asobola okunkozesa mu mobilization eya Uganda yona yona. He directed me to come up with a proposal to mobilize the lower earners under the umbrella of Busoga Rural Development Association. I was later appointed Deputy RDC Busia, where I served a very short time. Your Excellency, you remember it was only 2 years. And in 2015, the President put me in his mobilization office at Imbuya, the office of the NRM National Chairman, where I deputized Honorable Moleka Mukama, the former PPS, to His Excellency the President. Mbaire ndikwebaza mukaire wange Right Honorable Rebecca Alitwala eyasobola okumbonamu ekitone nankozesa ate oluvannyuma omukulembeze nambona n'asobola okuntuma emirimu egindi era n'aba mu office yeri political by then eyali ekulirwa omukyala gobeeta Mole nawe Kamukama ate yamala n'aba PPS wa President. On May 8, 2016, His Excellency the President invited me for a meeting at Rachitura where he informed me that he was planning to appoint me cabinet minister in a powerful docket. President yandeta makage twasobola okuba nibye twogera era yankoba nti alina plans edokunfula minister mu office ye. In our conversation, we discussed my educational background. At this point, His Excellency the President advised encouraged me to return to school, but he made promise to keep my ministerial position until I completed my studies. It was a challenging moment, but I was reminded of many great and successful names of leaders who returned to college. Owekitiibwa President yankoba nti nje nsome olw'ensonga editali ndala dendijo bakobera wansi wano era yansuubiza nti ekifo kyange ayidde kinterekera oluvannyuma lw'okumala okusoma. I went back to school not because I did not qualify for the job at that time, but it was due to the mistake I made after my levels of joining an institution that was not affiliated to the UBTEP. Actually, it was as a result of this conversation that we realized this mistake. This is indeed an eye-opener to many parents who are not keen at the choice of the schools they make for their children. Some schools are not fully registered or affiliated to government bodies. Mu kiseera kino nga ndikwogera n'omukulembeze ow'eiwanga nasobola okumukobera ekiseera ekyo tikyategeeza nti nali nzirabuyegerese bumala aye olw'okubanga diploma yange gye nali nina nali nagifuna mu institution eyali nga teri registered by government. Era Owekitiibwa President yampa amagezi okwirayo okusoma. As a committed and focused person, I did not feel sad or dejected. I took Museveni's advice in good faith, and being a parent, he appointed me to be his personal assistant in his office at the same time, senior presidential advisor during this time while I returned to school. President nga bw'ali muzaire era yanfunira omulimu ogundi ogutayida kubaako bibuzo kamaala yantama office yeri personal era yanongeraku n'obukulu obwa senior presidential advisor. It was quite a challenging office for a new person like me, but through God's grace, together we delivered Museveni's victory. Mu kiseera ekyo tikyali kyangu omuntu omuyaka nga nze ate mwidukire nti byali biseera bya COVID. Aye Katonda nga n'omubeezi waife twasobola okuleeta obuwanguzi bwa Muzeeyi Museveni mu kiseera ekyo. Muzeeyi, I did not disappoint you. I went back to school and now I am a proud owner of a bachelor's degree through your efforts, and yet I am also enrolling for a master's degree. I wanted to share this testimony to show to everyone that Muzeeyi does not tell lies and is not selfish. Even as we read in the book of Genesis of the 10 Commandments handed by the Lord to his servant Moses. Kyembaire ndigezaako era lwaki ndikwogera ekintu kino nti President Timulimba era mukamwa ke muzira bulimba. Ebintu byonna byonna bye twayogera naye Owekitiibwa President yabituukiriza era ebyo maze n'abifundikira n'ekitabo kya Bayibuli ekyaluberyeberye nga Katonda awamusa amateeka. I am one of those whom Muzeeyi has groomed. When he appointed me minister in 2021, many people doubted my ability and competencies. However, to those I have worked with and those following the presidency in the last 5 years, I think there are many reforms registered. Indeed, performance of the presidency is undisputedly high. Ekyo nkyebaza kubanga Muzeeyi bwe yampa omulimu guno abantu abasinga badautinga era balowooza nti oba oliawo presidency agiise aye bw'oba okubye ettooki mu myaka 5 einuma n'isaawa eno presidency weeri mubonera irala nga performance ya office of the president eri waigulu ino compared ku myaka egy'einuma. I thank God that in the many scandals that have been registered in the country, where even intellectuals have been victims, your daughter Babalanda does not feature anywhere. I may not be rich, but I am contented with the chance you gave me to serve, and I promise not to disappoint you as the appointing authority. Baba scandals dibaire mu Uganda Kamala. I am scandals edibairewo okali kuwulira ku scandal ya Babalanda. Era nkusuubiza nti oyinza obutagiwulirira kwirala. I also pledge the same to the NRM government, to all the Ugandans and the people of Busoga. Ekyo ndi kisuubiza Uganda mwena n'okusingira irala abasoga banange bwe tuwangala mu Busoga. I've been part of and have contributed to many initiatives of transforming our country. My only weakness, Your Excellency, is that I am not the type who goes around blowing my own trumpet, showing what I have accomplished. Eyo weakness, Your Excellency, njirina kubanga ndi omukulembeze atayidi kwemulisa okuba nti nemerera neneyogeraku buli kintu kyemba nkoze. This has helped me to survive the pull her, pull him down syndrome, which is one of the biggest vices in our country. I've been focused on my work and on my vision to transform my people. Oweekitiibwa President mbairenga mfuba okubona nti nkola ekyo kyendimenti okukola n'okubona nga tukyusa ku bulamu obw'abantu. I don't believe in divisive politics, and I don't belong to any of the traditional or existing political camps. Ndikiririza mu kukolera awalala, so ti kumukwawulayawula abantu oba mu kampu eno oba mu kampu ere. Your Excellency, I adapted this leaf from you. You are a people's president. You are persuaded by the merit and substance of the individual and not their private persuasions. Kino olw'okubanga baba niwe ongulumiza ate nkoze niwe nakikopa kwiwe kubanga oli president w'abantu. Oli president w'abantu era oikeririza ino mu bukozi, so toba convinced oba tolimbibwalimbibwa na bintu bino ebiri private oba ebiri personal. Oikeririza ino mu bantu abakozi on merit oba mu kukola, so tibino ebintu ebyamangu ebisendebwasendebwa abantu. Some of the challenges that have deeply affected our country include greed, corruption, selfishness, and short-sightedness by some of our actors who incidentally are positioned to offer guidance. Ebizibu bye tulinaawo ekitiibwa President ebisinza okutuluma oba okutukosa n'abantu okuba nti bannakyemalira bakenuzi benda kukola bonka, beikiririzamu bonka n'okubonera okumpi. Mu bantu abo tubalina aye ate nga baweereibwa omukisa ogw'okuweereza n'okuyamba abantu baife. Indeed, some people forget that Uganda and NRM are bigger than all of us. We are just servants offering our contributions. Leaders come and go, but their effect remains, whether positive or negative. Twerabira ino nti ekibiina kya NRM kinene ino okusinga twena kubanga ife abakulembeze tulondebwa okukola ekitundu kyaife kubanga twidi nti leero tuliwo enkyo tuzirawo. It is therefore important that during our time we should register positive effect in order to leave behind excellent legacy for which we can be remembered. Kirungi ino nti mu kiseera kyaife wetuweereibwa obuyinza oba obuvunaanyizibwa okukulembera abantu oba okolera abantu, twandibaire tukole ekyo kye tusaanira okola, nti niwe tuba tuviire mu bukulembeze tusobole okulekawo omukuululo gwe basobola okutwiduukiriraku. When God gives us chance to serve through Museveni, we should utilize well our opportunities to transform our communities. We should not waste time and energy in petty fights and quarrels. Katonda bw'aba atuwaire omukisa okuweereza okubita mu baba waife ow'ekitiibwa President Museveni, tusaanire ino tukozesa omukisa ogwo bulungi tusobole okukyusa obulamu obw'abantu mu bitundu yetuba mu kifo ky'okumala ebiseera mu kulwanagana n'ebintu ebitatuyamba. It is bad for Museveni to offer you an opportunity, and when your time is used up, you have nothing the world can remember about you. Kibino okuweebwa omukisa nga President n'agukuwaire okugukozesa aye ate ekiseera kyo ky'omaze wakimala ng'abantu Abanayuganda oba n'ensi yonna yonna tibasobola kukwiddukira. I've gotten the opportunity to serve, but I feel there is yet a big stumbling block stopping me from excelling in my service to change the lives of my people. I need to say that it is good to serve in cabinet as minister when you are a people's representative. When you are not a people's representative, but appointed directly to Parliament, you are an ex-official. And there are major decisions that are passed in the House on which you are not permitted to vote. It is against this background that I took a decision to contest in Budiope West constituency. Owekitiibwa President mbaire ndikoba nti kirungi ino okutuwa obuweereza okukolera government mu cabinet nga ba minister aye ate wabaawo ensonga edikwetaagisa okuba ng'okulembera abantu oba oli mukulembeze ng'okiikirira abantu. Kubanga bw'oba tokiikirira abantu waliwo ensonga enkulu eno deweetaaga okukola niwe kiba kyetaagisa kuba kalulu aye olw'okubanga oba oli ex-official kiba kizibu ino kubanga akaluluko oba tosobola akakuba era toyikirizibwa kukuba akalulu. Your Excellency, following your guidance when you invited us, the leaders at your farm in Chiso's Gomba, I adopted your community empowerment program for Chisozi. Owekitiibwa President ng'abakulembeze watwete Chisozi okubona biki by'olikolera abantu b'e Gomba era ng'omukulembeze zeena nasobola okukopa ebyo bye watwetera okola Chisozi era zeena nabireeta ebiyende. On my part, I decided on a personal initiative to empower the communities with agricultural inputs and seed capital. I've distributed coffee seedlings, seed capital and chicks. I purchased a 10,000 capacity hatchery and I am distributing chicks to the community. Oluvannyuma lw'okujja e Gomba Owekitiibwa President n'otutwala ng'abakulembeze tulina ebintu bingi bye twayiga era nga ndi omu ku baayiga n'enenda mbireeta ebiyende era ntandika okubikola n'abantu ab'ebuyende. Owekitiibwa President natandika okugaba emmwanyi era abantu b'ebiyende bayidye nga bafune emmwanyi nga tubawa eka abandi abatasobola kusimba eka nga tubawa half acre. Nsoboire okufuna ekyuma ekyaluza enkoko era naaba nga ntandise okugaba enkoko era abantu betwasooka okuwa enkoko baatunda ira enkoko kayibaira mu baagula abandi abaafunanga enkoko ed'amagi bali kutunda amagi. Ku nsonga ya food security Owekitiibwa President era njiire out of my small saving nga ngulira abantu ensigo okubona nti tuba n'emmere waka. Owekitiibwa President ife ng'eno ebuyende bw'otubona era buyende ebaire eri hard to reach district aye twebaza obukulembeze bwo obwasobola okututuusa awalala n'abantu nti buti buyende niwoyende okuva ekamuli otuuka ebuyende dakiika 45 oba otuusa ebuyende. Owekitiibwa President buyende eno twetaaga ng'abakulembeze okusomesa ino abantu betukulembera kubanga ndowooza nti mu Busoga nifo tukasinza okuzaala abaana abangi aye ate twazaala abaana nga tituli bateeketeeke bulungi. Weesanga ng'omuzaire tasobola na kugulira mwana omuwala sanitary pad, nga tasobola kugulira mwana kitabo, nga tasobola kugulira mwana uniform. Ensonga eyo yangema kwino Owekitiibwa era n'abona nti nze ng'omukulembeze kiki kyensoboire okola ku lw'abantu abadyope. Baba watwegeresa okuweereza abantu. Nasobola okuyigulawo foundation gye tweta Babalanda Foundation, ng'eyo mwentoola akasente okubona nga namba omuzaire, kubanga watuteerawo okusoma okw'obwereere okwa primary n'okwa secondary. Aye weesanga ng'omuzaire tasobola kugula sanitary pad. Ekyo kyangema kwino ng'omwana omuwala, ate n'olugendo lwange nga bwe ndubakobeire nti luzibu. Natandika foundation eyo, era nga ndi kukozesa foundation eyo tidda kwikiriza mwana muwala kutyama waka kubanga omuzaire tasobola kugula sanitary pad. Tidda kwikiriza mwana wa bulenzi kutyama waka kubanga omuzaire tasobola kugula uniform, oba tasobola kugula pen, oba tasobola kugula seti. Okubita mu foundation eyo tidda kusobola okuyamba abaana abazaire abo abatesobola. Aye ate mu kiseera n'ekirala, ekiseera ekitono ky'emazzi eno, bandaze nti bali benda okukola era benda ssente mu maka gaibwe, kubanga bwe naleeta emwani abazaire baanona emwani mu bungi, buli omu yatwala yasimba. Enkoko babaire badirwanira bulwanire, nga buli lweneeta enkoko nembagabira badirwanira bulwanire. N'ekirala nti boona bali kulwanisa endala mu maka gaibwe. Oweekitiibwa President, boona abo osiimye okubita mu foundation eno Babalanda Foundation, niwe baba waife oyinza kutuyambaku. However, this kind of intervention can be done better when no one questions your intention, especially when it is twisted as a political move. This decision was done in good faith. It is for the good of our people and the fulfillment of my dreams. Your Excellency, unlike some religious leaders who are negative, our clergy in Buyende are supporting for the government programs, and they are doing a commendable job for spreading the wealth creation gospel. Baba nendo okutegeza nti wano mbuso gatubaire tukalifu na kizibu n'abayisaife mu Katonda, kubanga bona programs zediringirira okugayigawaza abana Uganda badidumbira, era ni wane Buyende wona programs zedo badidumbira. Obutafaanana kunga bitundu bindi, ebitundu ebindi programs da government bwedida badimobilizing okubona nti abantu baife tiba participatinga. Nendo okusima bayisaife mu Katonda olw'okwidumbira programs da government, era NRM government dereseewo wansi w'obukulembeze bw'Oweekitiibwa Retired General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Your Excellency, but because of this clergy working on a voluntary basis, they have challenges with the transport to move about. I therefore made a decision to purchase a few of them motorcycles. Bwenabona abakulembeze ab'Ebuyende nga benda promotinga wealth creation n'okubuulira ekigambo kya Katonda, kubanga ekitundu ekirimu okutya Katonda tikibaamu bwizi bwa misango mu kulembera abantu abatali bayibi, abatali bakozi ba bikolobero, abendeza ensi yaibwe, abakolerera ensi yaibwe, niwe kiba kyetaagisa kufa bafiirira ensi yaibwe kubanga bali mu Katonda. Abakulembeze bayisaife mu Katonda bantegeeza nti Buyende eno nene, aye okutuuka wansi eyo okola omulimo ogwa Katonda kibazibuwalira kubanga bazira ntambula. Ekintu ekyo kyangemaku Ekitiibwa President, aye olw'okubanga ze nandi mu Kristaayo, ate ndi kwenda ekitundu kino kibe mu Katonda, kitye Katonda. Out of my small saving, Ekitiibwa President, nasobola okugulirayo ku bayisaife mu Katonda motorcycles. Ekitundu kino kinene ino, nasookera ku bababa baife Abaisiraamu, era mpola nga nsavinga n'abagulira motorcycles ina okumala ku constituency yona. Bwe navaawo naira ku bayisaife Abakatuliki, era bona olw'okubanga ekitundu kinene ino, era bona n'abagulira motorcycles ina. Bwe navaawo ndize ku bayisaife Abaprotestanti, olw'okubanga enfuna yange neeyo ate ebizibu ebiri ebiyende biri kamaala abo nkaali kugulira abaprotestant nkaali kugulira balokole nkaali kugulira ba Seventh Day. Oweekitiibwa President bona abo osiimye niwe idi bonangemeraku. Your Excellency, for the fisher folks, we are adopting alternative livelihoods to support them. I invited the State House team that is doing research in this area. It is led by Ms. Sylvia Nachiwulo. They have done a commendable job in the Buyukwe district, where they have distributed fish fingerlings, chicks, piglets, and heifers. Oweekitiibwa President, bw'omala okutukyalira commemoration of World AIDS Day, n'okuba nti oli kujja kwira mu kitundu kino, olina ttiimu yo gy'oli kwenda oleete mu kitundu kino, nze tyalinda n'asobola okutuukirira ttiimu y'erikola e Buyukwe, ng'erikola omulimu ogw'ekitendo, ng'erikola omulimu omulungi, n'abatuukirira okubona nti baida e Buyende basobola okulingirira ekitundu nga bwe kiri, balingirire Nanda daife, tuleme kulingirira Nanda yonka, tusobole okuba n'alternatives okubona ng'emirimu gijja mu maiso. Era ttiimu eneebaire wano mu Buyende ng'erikulirira engirira ensonga edo. Bona abo osiimye Oweekitiibwa President, nsaba nti bwe banaaba baviira e Buyukwe, nsaba baide e Buyende, twena batugemereku tube nga tukola ekintu n'ekirala ekyo. Your Excellency, it is recorded in the book of St. Luke that Jesus performed several miracles where he healed the sick, the lepers, and those with demons. But specifically in chapter 17, verse 17 and 19, Jesus wondered where the 9 people he had healed went. Only one returned to thank him for the wonderful experience of healing. Kyembaire ndigezaako mu kitabo kya Luka essula 17 oluniriri 17 ni 19, Yesu we yakoleranga ebyamagero kamaala, omwali okuwonya abaaliko emizimu, abagenge n'abandi kamaala. Aye bwe tusoma essula eyo tubonanga muntu mulala yenka ne yasobola okwira okwebaza Katonda olw'ebyo byamukoleire. The Lord has done me great things, but there are some I cannot forget. In the year 2021, like many others, I almost lost my life to COVID-19. Nonetheless, through the generous interventions of Museveni and his unending guidance, many lives were saved. Your Excellency, bwenkweta our hero in the fight of COVID, mbatiri kusaga, kubanga then I was a victim. Niwe baba, era niwe hero waife. Owasobola okuwonya abana Uganda ekimbe kya COVID-19. This was the time the entire world had been gripped with a state of fear of death. The disease killed anyone, whether black or white, rich or poor, educated or uneducated, etc. And the enemies of the world and the economies of the world collapsed. When I fell ill of COVID, it was indeed a very tense time in my life. By the time Haji Chirunda Faruk, buli muntu gwe ndijja kusoma kunda kumwetaide wano kubanga ni hero wange ow'olunaku lwa leero. Haji Chirunda Faruk picked me from a healthy facility in Mukono. I was sleeping into coma. I did not follow of what was going on. I only resumed my senses when I found myself at Mulago Hospital surrounded by my sister Alice Nalumu. Yet this was the period Museveni named me Minister for Presidency. I battled the virus, but it had weakened me so much. Indeed, this was visibly manifested when I appeared for the swearing-in ceremony. Abali omwidukira bulungi bwe nali nga ndija okuswearinga in bwe nali ndi kuyisa ndowooza mukiddukira bulungi. Nevertheless, I had to proceed and receive office in that state, but immediately returned to hospital. I was indisposed for another 6 months. However, due to the Lord's mercy, it was only my physical presence that was missed. The office continued operating normally. At this juncture, I wish to commend Haji Yunus Kakande, the Secretary Office of the President, Haji Chirunda Farouk, for standing in the gap. Human Resource, Herbert Atwaire, Major Martha Simwe, and others. I can say this was a trying time and probably my lowest ever in life. Why? It is because I could not imagine that Museveni had promised to offer me a position in 2016, and here I was immediately after getting the good news of naming me minister. I was instead fighting for my life in the hospital. Kiseera kyali kizibu ino kubanga nali tidukira nti ne Museveni yali ansuubiza okumpa obwa minisita kubanga ekimbe kyali kiri kumbalambirizi era nali ndi mu ddwaliro ng'ebyo tikabitegeera. However, looking back, I can say that it was entirely my fault to fall in the gap of COVID-19. I actually learnt a lesson. Museveni had since in 2019 taught to observe SOPs and to avoid any careless touches, but when I received the good news, I forgot the SOPs and allowed the people to access me all over. They came with the disease, and it nearly cost my life. Museveni ng'amaze okumpa obwa minisita, abantu baidde okunsanukira ku kamaala, abantu bampa hugs, aye ng'ate nerabire nti kiseera kya COVID, ate pulezidenti yali yatwegeresayira okwerinda oba okuba nti twekuuma ebimba ebifaanana oti n'ebyo. Aye olw'okubanga nali musanufu ino tyabiddukira ebyo, abantu bangi baidde okundozaayoza okwikaikana nomwaidiramu n'abalina ekimbe kya COVID era kyangema. If it was not God's mercy and the interventions of Museveni, I would have died of COVID. Indeed, blood clots were already sighted in my veins and it was getting to be very bad. Ngoliti yali President Museveni kubanga yafaayo ino yantumira abantu okubona nti banambula era bwe babona nga kiremye yasalawo okusala amagezi agandi okubona nti ntwalibwa kuliya nsobole okwidandabwa. Yet this was the time I had just gotten appointed. I had no much capacity and we were still in lockdown. Fortunately, Museveni met all the costs of treating here and abroad. Oweekitiibwa President, nenda okwebaza nti wafaayo ino okundidandabira wano ni kuliya kwa Uganda. At this point, I wish also to thank my sister, Senior Presidential Advisor, Princess Pauline Nasolo. Buli gwendi tusoma kundi kwendayidde wano mu maiso, Oweekitiibwa President yamubone bw'anaaba asiimye afuna ekifaananye ne baahiro bange. Prince Pauline Nasolo and my blood sister Alice Nalumu, both of whom abandoned their homes and stayed at my bedside to nurse me during this time. I also thank Lieutenant Brigadier General Nareiso for being in constant touch with us. Mr. Abib Seruwaji, Major Martha Simwe, Mrs. Miriam Karugaba, buli gwendi tusoma nsabaidde wano mu maiso, Mrs. Miriam Karugaba, Mrs. Karen Kayonga, Mr. Thaire Abbott, Mr. Sadat Chisui, and several others who played a great role in saving my life. Therefore, I stand here today to be one of the 9 who were healed. My thanksgiving today is not focused on my political achievements, but it is thanking the Lord for giving me a second chance to life. Oweekitiibwa President, ndogera abantu kamaala abo bonna baali kibasula mu maka gaibwe aye nga bafaayo buli kaseera okubona babiri emmere Babalanda asiibye atya asuza atya eddagala alifunye balikubeeta Oweekitiibwa President alikubeeta kubanga abo bonna baaliwo okulwange. Miriam Karugaba aboneka tasoboire kwida aye oyo yafaayo ino okubona nga buli kaseera anambula eddagala alireeta okubona nga obulamu bwa Babalanda bwire engulu. Nenda okusiima baahiro bange abo Oweekitiibwa President mu maiso go kubanga iwe okwongereza kwiwe bye wakola bona baaliwo okulwange. I desired for this event some time ago. I desired for this event some time ago. Indeed, Muzaida elected the former PPS, Dr. Omona, in 2022 to arrange for it, but due to a busy schedule of the President, it did not happen. Your Excellency, I thank you very much for fulfilling your promise to be the chief guest while I make this Thanksgiving. I am deeply grateful for your coming because God passed through you to save my life. I did hold the event for my political Thanksgiving some time ago, but this particular one is to specifically appreciate God and you for your input in saving my life. I also thank my husband, Pastor Samuel Babalanda, for being a father and mother during the time of my indisposition. I thank the people of Biende for standing with me and the leadership of the district for supporting my development initiatives. Nendo kwebaza abantu b'Ebiende, nendo kwebaza abantu bonabona, n'omwami wange omusumba Babalanda eyafuuka maama baba mu kiseera ekyo we nali nga nzira kye nsobola kukola. N'okusingira irala okwebaza President Museveni. Baba Katonda yakozesa iwe okuwonya obulamu bwange. Nkwebaza ino webale okwenda muwalawo. Finally, Sir, Your Excellency, I chaired a sub-region meeting of NRM leaders on June 3rd, 2025 at Jinja City Hall, where the leaders requested that for seniority and continuation of clear-headed leadership and for the steadfast transformation of our region and the entire country, you kindly accept to contest at the forthcoming NRM Delegates Conference as the NRM National Chairman and NRM Presidential Flag Bearer 2026-2031. Awo wendi kobera baba nti bwe nakyalinga meeting engena kuda omwezi 3 omwezi ogw'omukaaga twali ku Stay Hall n'abakulembeze bonabona ababusoga era abakulembeze basaba nga bakwegayirira nti bali kwenda obenga oli candidate waibwe okuba okwemererawo nga chairman w'ekibiina kya NRM mu Uganda yona bwe tunaba tugiire mu Delegates Conference. Ate n'ekindi bamala bakoba nti bali kusaba oyemererewo nga president wesimbewo nga president ow'eiwanga Uganda omwaka 2026 2030. Awo wendi kusabira bwe babanga bantuma eirobozo eryo ndituseyo oli ow'ekitiibwa mundeetere boodi eyo bayisentebe ba NRM ababusoga yona basayininge akabonero akalaga nti bayikiriza ow'ekitiibwa president ayemererewo nga national chairman w'ekibiina kya NRM ate era nga president ow'eiwanga erya Uganda. I thank you, Your Excellency, for coming and wish everyone board mujirete bayisentebe ba NRM bona baide basayininge akabonero akalaga nti busoga yona ikiriza ow'ekitiibwa president. Baba bwana basimbye okusayininga aida kusayininga aye bano bayisentebe balijja kukiikirira president kubanga batyo bwe bakola emirimu mu kibiina kya NRM. Bayisentebe ba NRM bali kukiikirira districts daibwe eda Busoga yona yebaviire. Bayisentebe n'ebirirano district sediriira ndi kubona ow'ekitiibwa Kalangwa okuva e Kayunga, ndi kubona LC5 chairperson ow'e Kayunga, women leaders mwena abakulembeze b'abakyala. Ow'ekitiibwa president nenda okutegeeza nti abadyope basiima mbe chairperson waibwe owa women league mu district ey'Ebuyende. Era ninze nantebe akulembera abakyala mu district ey'Ebuyende. Abakyala abakulembeza abali wano district sidonadone eda Busoga n'emirirano wa Busoga mwide mukiikirire abakyala nga mukoba nti mwikiriza president mu Busoga yesimbewo nga national chairman waife ow'ekibiina kya NRM. Buyende district ow'ekitiibwa n'omukyala ninze ze nanda kwidda nsayininge kubanga ninze omukyala akulembera abakyala mu Buyende. Kamuli district mukaire waife right honorable Kadaga azirawo aye ndibona omukyala Masitula uyo agiire okusayininga kulwa mukaire waife. Idinda Jinja district, Jinja city, Mayuge, Iganga, Luuka, Bugweri, Namtumba, Kaliro, Bujiri, Namayingo. Bara DCs, bwe tukola emirimu ensonga eyo mugibona mutya? Nenda okwebaza baba kubanga bwe wabaire oyogera ku eri eiwanga lya Uganda mu State of the Nation address ndi kusiima nti mu nguudo d'oliijja okola mwabairemu n'oluguudo lwaife olwa Kamuli Bukungu. Twenda okusiima era baba bonna aboyogera mbaire nkusaba ensonga eyo ogiteeku ino eisira. Baba nsaba oyikirize obwire bukugireku aye nze bankuzanga bwenkobye nti bankuza bulungi mpa abakulembeza ebitiibwa wakati mwife waliwo omukaire waife third deputy prime minister leka amusaba akwete aide akulamuseeko era akwete oide oyogere eri eiwanga. Mwebala okumpuliriza mwebalire irala nsaba omukama abampeera omukisa. NRM oye! NRM juu! Kaguta oye! Museveni oye! Museveni paka last! Ate Babalanda! Mwebale ino, mwebalire irala. So, Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, my colleagues, honorable members of Parliament, our colleagues, our ministers, bana mbalengeira awo nga tuli n'omugole waife Honorable Babalanda atyamiza n'olwaleero omugole webale ino webalire irala obugalo obwo bubwo. Honorable ministers present, honorable members of Parliament, religious leaders, NRM leaders and opinion leaders, RDCs, the Busoga Kingdom Royals, baliwo wano, Busoga Consortium yona eriwo, abaami n'abakyala in uniform, ndakoba nti mwena abasoga, abaami n'abakyala, mwena tubalengeire bana muliyo. Muzeeyi abeewo. Ebigambo byange tibiri kujja kuba bingi. Bandeta Nakadama Rukia Isanga, ndi member wa Parliament omukyalo okuva e Mayuge, ate nga muzeeyi bwe yasiima yakoba ati obwa Deputy Prime Minister owokusatu ayida kuvaamu wano e Busoga. Mukyala Babalanda tuli kwebaza nti webala okola omukolo guno omulungi eno, era tuli kwebaza nti webala okweta muzeeyi okuyida n'olwaleero. Ensonga yange eri ndala muzeeyi ye ndi kwenda okukobera nti okuyida kwo okutukoze bulungi ino, era twenda kukutuusa kukwebaza nti webale okusayininga ekiwandiiko ekyebikaado kyewali wakasayininga ennaku edo mu State House ng'otyamiza abanabikaado ng'ate abali basinga mu bungi baali ba Busoga. Webale ino, webalire irala. Twenda kwebaza baba nti webale okuyikiriza University ya Busoga yabanga yona eri kujja kutandika mu kisanda kino, era twatandise okikolaku. Abasoga basanufu olw'okubanga Busoga University eri kutandika, erituwa emirimu, abaana olugendo likuba lwakumpi n'ebisigayirewo bingi. Bana mukikubira engalo, President Museveni baba waife yakiikiriza. Egenda okusembayo sebo owekitiibwa baba President, nenda kukobera nti mbaire ntambula nibagalabo nibatabani bo okuva mu State House nga tutambula ku lubalama olw'Enanda, era nga ku lubalama olw'Enanda okwo tubaire tutunda programu yo yetuli kuguza abantu ey'okufuna alternative livelihood, kubanga baba abaana kumbali eyo balikulira beetaagayo ekinaabayiza emitima. Ekinaabayiza emitima ekyo tubaire tutambula nibagalabo nga muno muli Silivia n'omukulu w'ensonga eyo. Silivia era n'omuzeeyi akubone nga niwe omu ku baana abo abava mu State House betukola nabo emirimu. Tutambwire ebuyikwe embaireyo, natambula twaja ku bizinga eby'emayuge, twatambula twaja ebugiri, tuli kutambula n'ebizinga ebindi byona byona oba landing sites nga tuli kunoonya alternative livelihood. Muzeeyi programu eyiyo ey'okuba nti abantu baife tubayiza emitima. Tuli kusaba Your Excellency nti programu eno giteekwa amaani. Ekintu kyoli kubona nga no ti kitono, aye ekintu ky'ebyenanda kinene ino, twetaaga tuyiza abantu emitima gyabwe. Nenda kusembyayo nga nebaza Sylvia, you go on the other side so that Muzeeyi can see you. Your Excellency, omuwala oyo namukobera kwena kwetali dawala, aye walinga yesebo sebo nekisembayo. Twenda kwebaza programu erikulirwa muwala wo yo Dr. Jane Bireche okuva mu State House eya Industrial Hub. Baba abantu basanufu kubanga eiziza abantu okubona nti basobola okufuna ebyokutondawo emirimu gyabwe beene. Basanufu okutoolaku nti tukoba ntwongeremu kukuba ebifo bikaali binene waire nga twasalawo nga kabineti nti kakibe mu regions aye distance ekaali nene okubona nti abantu betanira bona programu eno enabasobozesa okufuna ekibayise sente mu nsawo okulwanisa obwavu. Aye nga tukwebaza nti weebale ino weebalire irala batabani bona basanufu nibagalabo olw'emirimu gy'ogiire ng'otukolamu ng'abasoga. N'ebigambo ebyo Your Excellency neera kutwala mukisa guno okweta oyida oyogere eri obusoga. Museveni abeewo! Kaguta oye! Babalanda oye! Buyende oye! Busoga oye! Uganda oye! NRM juu! NRM juu! Thank you so much, Your Excellency.
Abasoga koideyo. Abasoga muriyo. Mureme kuogana muri. The right, somebody translate for me. The Right Honorable Deputy Prime Minister.
Deputy Prime Minister wa Uganda, Third Prime Minister.
The ministers.
Ministers abali wano.
Members of Parliament.
Member of Parliament mwena.
District and NRM chairpersons.
District NRM chairpersons.
All the other leaders.
Abakulembeze mwena abali wano.
And the people of Buyende and Busoga.
N'abantu ab'Ebuyende ni Busoga okutwalira awalala.
I'm very happy to be here. Thank God for the life of my daughter Mire Babalanda.
Ndidde wano kwebaza Katonda kulwa mwala waife mwala wange Mire Babalanda.
You heard how her life was in danger.
Mwawulira nti obulamu bwe bwali mu kabenje
because of corona.
Olwa corona.
When she was appointed a minister,
ngate akalondebwa kuba minister,
she got excited.
Yafuna ekiniginigi
yachamukamu.
Yachamuka.
And started embracing all people.
Yatandika okugwa mu kifuba mu bantu bona.
And she got corona.
Yafuna obulwaire obwo.
Nalimba kobeere bya corona, nalimba kobeere nti mwewale tumusemberera abantu.
Ekyo mukiwulire banange.
Aye byenkoba temubifaaku.
Nga president yabakobera nga ebindi abandi nga temubifaaku.
Kati oyo mwana yajja corona mu kuchamuka.
Aye mwala we mukuva mu isano eryo eyatola corona.
But God stood with us and her.
Olw'ensonga eyo.
And she survived.
Yasobola okubaawo olw'obuyambo yafuna okuva eri baba we.
You know, a number of our people died because of that corona.
Mukidi bulungi nti abantu bangi baafa olw'obulwaire obwo bwa corona.
My elder brother Kirunda Kivejinja died because of that.
Ni horawo Kivejinja mwidukya nti yafa ku lwekyo.
Kisamba Mugerwa.
N'abandi.
So we thank God for Mariam.
Twebaza Katonda olwamire nti ye yawona, Katonda yamuwonya era aliweereza eggwanga.
Babirye has been a good leader.
Babirye abali mukulembeze mulungi.
The mobilizer of the NRM.
Muku mobilizingira NRM olw'okumakuma abantu kulwa NRM.
I found her here with the women group in Busoga here.
Yamwagana ano n'ebibiina ebyabakyala mu Busoga muno.
That's how I came to know her.
Niyo engeri gyatandika okumumanya.
Now, in the mobilization and in the politics,
mu byobufuzi,
you just need to be clear, all of you Ugandans.
mutekwa okumanya ekituufu imwe na mwena abana Uganda.
Because part of the problem is that people mix up issues.
Kizibu ekiriwo nti abantu bakyankalanya ebintu batabulatabula ebintu.
Whenever I get a chance, I advise you.
Era buli ofuna omukisa agezaako okugaidinga abantu, okugalagira abantu.
Especially about the 4 words.
Naddala ku bintu ebina bino.
Development, what we call enkulaakulana in our local languages.
Ebya enkulaakulana.
That development means things which concern all of us.
Enkulaakulana kitegeeza ebintu ebitugema ku twena.
The roads,
enguudo,
the health centers,
amalwaliro.
You heard how the children here were reciting in the poem that everybody has got a cell phone.
Ngabi nebyamasimu ngabana baliko bantu ntwali neisimu.
Electricity,
amasanyalaze,
schools,
amasomero.
These are development.
Ebyo byonna biraga nkulaakulana,
which is for us.
Ebyo byonna nga byaife twena.
But you can have enkulaakulana,
tuyinza kuba n'enkulaakulana,
but you still remain poor.
Twaba n'enkulaakulana nga iwe mwene ng'omuntu okali mwavu.
I have been telling you whenever I have a chance.
Era abaira bakobera buli wafuna omukisa.
In 1965,
okuva mu 1965,
we came from Ntare.
Ng'akali Entale.
We were going to Teso College.
Bali nga bajja mu Teso College.
And also Sir Samuel Baker Gulu.
Ni Samuel Baker.
To play cricket.
Nga bajja okuzaana cricket. Omuzaano gwa cricket.
From Barara all the way to Soroti, the road was tarmac.
Okuva Embalala paka eyo lwali nga lwa kolansi.
Up to Soroti.
Paka Soroti.
1965, it was already tarmac.
Ogwo gwali mwaka 1965.
From that time, we have retarmacked that road a number of times.
Okuva kiseera ebyo oluguudo olwo baali lwoyirirwanga okuteebwa kolansi mirundi mingi.
Even in our time, we have done it like 2 times.
N'ebiseera bino nga NRM n'emuyinza nga President n'emuyinza bakalukola emirundi 2.
But even today,
paka buti,
if you go, you will find some poor people near that tarmac road.
Era niwo otambula ku luguudo olwo paka buti yoyaganako abantu abaavu ku luguudo olwa kolansi.
So you ask yourself,
awo weebuuliza,
if tarmac road brings prosperity,
awo weebuuliza nti oba oluguudo luleeta enkulaakulana,
oluguudo lwa
kolansi luleeta enkulaakulana,
how is it that for 60 years poor people are near the tarmac road?
Lwaki emyaka mpegaano nkaaga abantu abali ku luguudo ng'olwa kolansi mukaaliwo abaavu?
So that's why we say, please.
Kyova mzee abakoba nti mpegaano abeegayirira.
In addition to enkulaakulana,
ng'oweegayiseeku eby'enkulaakulana,
add another word.
Taako ekigambo ekindi.
Obugayiga, wealth.
Obugayiga.
The bugayiga is personal to you.
Obugayiga bubwo wewenka ng'omuntu, bugema kuyenga omuntu.
The same with obwavu.
N'obwavu bugema kuyenga omuntu.
Enkulaakulana yeife.
Development of enkulaakulana yona yaife twena.
But poverty and wealth are yours.
Aye obwavu n'obugayiga bubwo bwange ng'omuntu.
So please be clear about this point.
Ensonga eno mugyetegereze bulungi mpegaano.
We don't want poor families.
Titwenda mu igwanga mpegaano kuba na families endavu.
Zitumenya.
Families endavu ditumena.
Because you need to do everything for them.
lwakuba buli kintu olina kubakolera mu bifo bene okwekolera.
When in fact if they were doing things for themselves, then would save the money to do other things.
ate singa babe beekolera bene ebintu esente dodandi baire nga dikola ebintu ebindi bo lwakuba basobola okwekolera bene.
I'm therefore very happy
mpegala musanufu
to know that
okubona nti
Mire Babalanda,
muwala we Mire Babalanda,
when she came to Kisozi, she got my message.
bwe yayidde ekisozi meseji yatola ekisozi yagitwala nga nkulu ino.
I can show you on the team here.
alina okubakobera.
I can show them.
ayinza kubalaga.
One of the young boys, one of our ministers, Byamukama,
omu ku bavubuka owa minisita gwebeta Byamukama,
who came like Babalanda,
eyayidda nga muwala we Babalanda bwe yajja,
and I advised him to go to Kisozi and see what I was doing there.
era yamuwa amagezi okujja okubona byali akola nga ye pulezidenti abe ku Kyayiga.
You can show you what he did from that time, if you can show Byamukama.
okuva awo Byamukama asobola okubalaga byakoze byayiga ng'agira okukyalira pulezidenti waife Museveni.
Do you have the...
yali ayinza okulaga ekyo pulezidenti kyali kwenda okulaga ebyaba Mukama. Kiikire abali kuwona entimba eddire mulinga eyo entimba eddire kye bali balaga.
No, let him talk. Let him talk. We are not hearing words. If the sound of Byamukama is not coming, you show us Joseph Ijara of Serere.
Oba Byamukama abalozi gali kuvaayo, waayo Joseph Njala wa Serere, yeena yaliwo ekyayiga kye tuyinza okwegera ku wano. Balamuwulirise amaloboozi
We produce yogurt and pack it, thin it for the market. This project started 11 years ago after an inspiration from His Excellency, the President of Uganda, when he had come here and he was teaching people about the 4-acre model. He was having a rally in Soroti, and that time I was working as a taxi driver. He was doing that master business in Soroti. So when I heard this, when I heard he was around, I crossed to go and listen to his story. And he was talking about a 4-acre model, how to improve household income. So when I came back, I was fired because I delayed there and the still came full. And the guy said, you go and eat those ones that you had. But I had already this land, 2.5 acres, but I also had local chicken here. But after hearing that, I got inspired to put more effort on raising this chicken. So I raised the chicken to the tune of about 100 of them. Then I got a small incubator. That was about 4 eggs. So I used that incubator for multiplying my local chicken farm. Eventually I was having 1,500 local chicken around. I was very famous for local chicken. So but then local chicken were not answering my day-to-day needs. So I decided to translate it to layers. In Taifa farm we have 10,000 layers, which give me about 310 trays per day. And each tray goes at a price of 10,500. So approximately 3 million, about 3 million shillings a day from the eggs that we get. Of course, it varies depending on the cost of the feeding, but at least a half goes for management, a half goes to our pocket as Taifa. So after selling the layers, that money, I invested it on dairy. I started dairy with the 4 cows. But you know, I multiplied very fast because I'm using AI. I have my own semen bank here. So I do artificial insemination. And then I also got a vet who was able to train some of us here with the veterinary knowledge. I think he's even here, that gentleman there, our vet. So the cows that I'm going to show you are cows that are bred from Taifa farm, that produce, my highest produces 36 liters per day, and my lowest is at 20 right now, each cow. So 36, between 20 and 36 liters per day. And they all have names. I name them according to
now that that Joseph Ijala,
omwami oyo,
he had the message I'm telling you now.
Yafuna message ino baba yali tuwapesa weno.
In 2012.
Yajifuna mwaka 2012.
He was a taxi driver in Soroti.
Yali driver wa taxi e Soroti.
But when he had my message of the 4 acres model, because we have been talking about 4 acres model from 1996 manifesto.
Bweyawira message ya eka eina, model ya eka ina, yatwa seriously wakuba kintu kino baba yakyogera kuva 1996.
He had only 2.5 acres at home.
Yalina eka 2.5 zonka.
He went back.
Yaja
and started those chicken for eggs which you saw.
Yatandikana n'okulunda enkoko ezo detubweyinawo n'okuwulira.
Is now selling 310 trays per day.
Era atunda tray 310 buli lunaku.
And getting 3 million shillings per day.
Era yafuna million 3 buli lunaku.
Then he also went into cows.
Era yatandika amala yaja okumukulunda ente.
In the 2.5 acres.
Mweka 2 n'ekitundu.
Now he's selling like 320 liters a day.
Pega atunda liters 302 edamata buli lunaku.
And now together he's getting more than 1 billion shillings a year.
Mpega ano yafuna esente ediswika billion ne million 10 olunaku omwaka. Akawumbi nako billion eba million 10.
And when he removes the cost,
era yajja monted n'enzungu,
when he removes cost,
ngatwere ku dasansanya,
he remains with about 800 million shillings.
Asigazao emiliyoni nga 8 ngatwere ku byasansanya byona.
So the second word in our message is very crucial.
Ekikale ekigambo kino ekyokubiri mu message eno kikulu ino, ekigambo kikulu ino.
Ekigambo ekyokubiri.
Ekigambo ekyokubiri kikulu ino.
Obugayiga.
Obugayiga.
Wealth. Enkulakulana ye ifefena ayo obugaiga bubwo ng'omuntu
enkulaakulana ife twena ayo obugaiga bubwo ng'omuntu
ate n'obwavu
n'obwavu bwona bubwo ng'omuntu
saagala onsiiga obwavu bwo
kale obwavu toyinza kuba nti oyenda abusiga owundi oteeka okubwerwanaku mwene okubuvaamu
nze nandyagadde kubasiiga obugaiga
ye ayenze abe wano ng'ali kubasiga obugaiga
omusoga yakikobeera yakoba nti akange kakira akaife
omusoga yakobaira nti kange kakira kaife.
So why don't you get that message very clearly?
Message eyo lwaki tugitwala nga nkulu ino nga bweri
touch here, touch there, bakwata wano, bakwata wali, but the central message is development, but also wealth.
Tugema kubire nikubire aye ekikulu kyene kiteeka okuba nti yalo obugayiga n'enkulaakulana.
Now, if you go to the tarmac road to Iganga, to Namutumba, which we tarmacked later, you will find poor people there up to now.
Bw'ojja ku nguudo edateebwakwira kolansi Iganga ne Namutumba ne Nalumijata kolansi era oyagana abantu bakali abaavu ku nguudo edda kolansi.
This Ijara is very far from a tarmac road.
Igara kirigala ino okuva ku luguudo olwa kolansi.
Because he's in Serere, there is no tarmac road there now yet.
Kuba kiri mu Serere ezira kolansi akali kutuukayo buti.
The tarmac road ends in Kumi.
Oluguudo lwa kolansi lukoma mu Kumi.
So the tarmac road will come.
Oluguudo lwa kolansi ludda kwidha.
But please don't wait for the tarmac road. Chase poverty from your home.
Aye tosooka kulinda oluguudo lwa kolansi kwidda mwotandika okulwanisa obwavu ku maka. Tandikirawo okulwanisa okugoba obwavu maka.
I've been telling you that in 1967 when I was a young boy,
abakoberanga bulido nti lukunolwende nkaga n'omukaga nga kali muvubuka mubudubudubu nkaga na musanvu.
I went and bought Rwakitura.
Yajja yagula eitaka Rwakitura.
The tarmac road was ending in Lyantonde.
Ate ng'oluguudo lwa kolansi lukoma Lyantonde yire.
No tarmac road, no road even. There was not even a Maram road.
Tiyali oluguudo lwa kolansi ni lunongo olw'eitaka luno oli ku Maramu lwali luzirawo.
No school.
Gazira isomero.
No electricity.
Amasanyalaze gaaliyo.
Aye nze nali noonya obugayiga.
Aye lwakuba ye yali ali kunoonya bugayiga. Obw'okulunda ng'anoonya ettaka lya kulundiraku.
I was looking for wealth of cows.
Ng'anoonya obugayiga obuva mu kulunda ente.
Cows don't eat tarmac road.
Ente tiddirya kolansi.
They don't warm themselves on electricity.
Tidoota amasanyalaze okusuuwa.
The cows need grass.
Ente deetaaga bwa isubi.
And there was plenty of grass in Rwakitura.
Ate yabonanga isubi lingi e Rwakitura.
Now the tarmac road came later.
Era oluguudo lwa kolansi lwayita luvainuma.
Electricity came later.
Amasanyalaze gaidye luvainuma.
And found I was already a rich man. Nagagawareira.
Aye byajja otuuka nga yeyegayigalira.
So please my young people, don't be diverted.
Imwe abantu be abato mutakibuzibwa.
The third word
ekigambo ekyokusatu
is obuweereza services.
Ekigambo ekyokusatu n'empeereza y'emirimu.
Health,
ebyobulamu,
education,
ebyokusoma,
transport,
ebyentambula.
That is part of service.
Ebyo n'ebimu ku by'empeereza y'emirimu.
And that one we are trying to do that.
Ebyo nga gavumenti tuligezaako obikola.
Because in 1961
lwakuba mu 1960
I was at Ntare.
yali ntale.
We had so many young people from the whole of Uganda.
Entale yali abaana abavuka abangi okuva mu Uganda yona yona.
Coming for A level.
Nga baidde okusoma mu misomo gya haya.
There were only 6 A-level schools in the whole of Uganda.
Ebiseera ebyo yaliyo amasomero mukaaga gonka agasoma aga haya mu Uganda yona yona.
Kisubi, Budo, Ntale for the boys.
Ntale
for the boys.
Eri abalenzi.
Then Gayaza, Namagunga, and somebody said Nabingo. Although I didn't remember it, but somebody said it was already there.
Ni Nabingo waitaidukira bulungi ayali akyogerako.
So at Ntale we had many boys from Busoga here.
Era Ntale yali abavuka bangi abaali bava Busoga eno.
Boys like Tuma became a reverend later.
Abavuka nga Tuma Pegane yafuka reverend.
Mudora Chris. Many boys.
N'abalenzi
bangi
abava muno.
Mwiri was not an A-level school.
Ebiseera ebyo Mwiri yali nga ezira haya.
Tororo was not.
Ni Tororo tiyali ni haya. Nabumari tiyali na haya.
All those schools were all O-level or even lower.
Amasomero agona gali gakoma ku O-level oba Cambridge.
You now check Busoga. I did not check, but you can go and check.
Pegano tuizo checkinga Busoga ili atusobola okujja twacheckinga.
How many government A-level schools are there now in Busoga now?
Mpegano gwe tucheckinga amasomero ameka agali haya agali mu Busoga mangi ino.
You go and get the figure.
Era tuteko kinoneza kukikobera abantu bano.
So the buweereza kimwe kwase ekyo nakyo.
Nga tulikola ku by'okuweereza ekyo tutukyegemya.
The buweereza is much more than ever before.
Obuweereza obuliwo ino okusinga ne bwaliwo.
Even if there are some sub-counties which do not yet have secondary schools.
Ni aba wali nga amasomero getukali otamu esomero lya secondary.
But I am sure
that
in the old counties of Busoga now, the old counties, Amasaza,
Ageira,
there is now a higher school in each one of them. So you should also know that, put it in a context. Then we come to jobs. Many young people, many people, even old ones talk about jobs. Now, when they talk of jobs, many are simply talking of government jobs. Now, this is a misdirection of our people, misdirecting our people. In the whole world, government jobs cannot be enough. Cannot solve the problem of jobs. There is internet now. Those who know can check.
Ababaidi oba abasobola bayinza okucheckinga ku internet baabona kye tuli kwogerako.
Country by country.
Okulinga ensi uvansi wajja ku nsi yo eyindi.
USA, UK, all those countries.
Naga amawanga amanene nga USA nansi amawanga agamaani tuyinza okucheckinga twabona.
Emirimu egisinga obungi gisangibwa wa?
Emirimu egisinga obungi gyagaanibwa
not take instructions from State House.
Okay, let me bring in some of the soundbite from Junet Mohammed, and also I think the minority leader spoke about this, and the majority leader as well, Kimani Shungu, after this vetting as I bring in Mukwanja. Let's listen to what they had to say.
Of us who may differ with those who are supporting, please do not make any threats to the country. We have our constitution, we have our laws, and we have institutions which we must have faith in. I know for sure there are trust issues with IEBC. It is the high time these 7 commissioners now